What is the status of Social Security right now?
Well, I would say it's extremely urgent. Even before the pandemic hit, we were risking getting past the point of no return with respect to Social Security finances.
More must be done. As we often note in this committee, it's the nation's #1 anti-poverty program.
A lot of people seem confused about the state of Social Security and how it works. Social Security benefits provide American workers with a fixed income replacement during retirement. But it's not just a retirement program. It provides important life and disability insurance protections as well. In 2020, $1.1 billion was paid into the Social Security program by everyday workers who contribute to the program paycheck by paycheck. At the same time, $1.1 billion was paid out to over 64 million beneficiaries. But could the recent news about insolvency mean that someone like myself, a 20-something-year-old worker, may not receive Social Security?
People are always worried that Social Security is going to run out of money or it's not going to be self-funded. They've tweaked the full retirement age. They have increased how much has been paid out of payroll taxes. They keep increasing the cap on how much of your income that you have to pay.
Despite opposition, the New Deal is expanded to provide unemployment insurance and Social Security.
The Social Security Act was signed into law by President Roosevelt in 1935 in response to the Great Depression. The program was to become the cornerstone of economic security in America.
If your job is covered by the law, you too need a Social Security card. It is the only way to start your Social Security record.
When you work, you pay payroll taxes and your employer pays the same amount. And then if you are self-employed, you actually pay both sides, the employer-employee. And that's a big chunk of the money that pays the actual beneficiaries. Social Security also has what's called a trust fund. So money that built up previously through funding, it's earning interest. So it comes from two places, earnings from the trust fund and money that we put into it through working. Security picked age 65 as full retirement age back in 1935. The average life expectancy back then was 65. Now people live 30 years longer. People live into their late 80s, early 90s, even 100s. Now, given that, you can actually claim Social Security early, starting at 62, but when you claim early, you get greatly reduced benefits. You can wait as late as age 70 to claim. So right now there's a little over $2 trillion in the trust fund. And this year is the first year that we'll start having to draw from that trust fund. So over a number of years, that trust fund is going to be left with nothing. The trust fund that pays the interest and principal if needed to pay Social Security benefits will be depleted by 2033. Even after the trust fund goes away, it's estimated from the latest report that people would still receive 76% of benefits. So it's not like Social Security goes away. The reasons the fund has been depleted faster is because we basically hit a recession. And this happens every time we hit a recession. People lose jobs. So the actual amount of money coming out of the payroll wages has gone down significantly. Some people decided to retire early, so they started getting their benefits early. And then also interest rate. The Social Security Trust Fund is invested in U.S. Treasuries, and U.S. Treasuries are paying next to nothing right now in interest. So the Social Security Trust Fund isn't making a lot of money to be able to pay the Social Security benefits that were expected. Social Security benefits are increased for inflation every year. And so when inflation is low, like it has been, the last 10, 15 years pretty much, the amount you see that Social Security check go up is just a little bit. This year, because inflation has reared its ugly head because of supply chain issues from COVID, we are going to see a significant increase in the inflation amount adjustment that people are going to get starting next year. And that's a good thing because the people who rely on Social Security, that's their only paycheck. So a lot of people claim early at 62 because they want to make sure they get their money before it runs out. But that really isn't going to happen. Don't take into account whether the government is going to run out of money, because it can't run out of money. The Social Security Trust Fund will be depleted by 2033, but we'll still have payroll taxes coming in to provide benefits. The Social Security has been a fight throughout its inception in 1935. We had people living in poverty back then, and Social Security did a fantastic job of lifting people out of poverty. There's no reason for Social Security not to exist as long as this country exists.